Making your way through work Monday takes everything you got. Then Monday night rolls around and you realize there's a shot. You're only 10 points away. All those times when your team had no fight, they're just so gosh darn frail. Then your star quarterback let another deep ball sail, and your third round pick bet on his team. Then go check out our streets where everybody knows your pain, and they listen to complaints. You wanna be where you can see our bodies bring you no shame. You wanna go where everybody knows your pain.
Is going out right now. There it is. Welcome back, Dad Bod Fantasy
There we
Squad.
go.
Our internet was giving us some troubles there. So just a quick, before I even get into this introduction, in case you guys are wondering, if you sometimes hear me come in like in the middle of saying welcome, or if you sometimes hear a pause and then be like, oh, welcome, it's all because the video gets a little laggy whenever we air it right at the end. So trying to time it up is almost impossible. So I just try to start screaming right when I see Brian and Ellie. I go, welcome back to Fantasy or Dad Bod Fantasy. So just a little side note. Yeah, it's like usually it comes in the middle of the way. It's like, come back.
I feel like you almost
dude?
let fantasy bye week slip there. Did you?
He did.
Maybe.
He dropped a bye week.
He did.
I did specifically notice your sweatshirt in the intro, and I've seen it before. Like I've noticed it before. But you ever like watch something 18 million times, and you're like, you remember just a specific thing, and you're like, why did I see that?
Yeah.
That's
yeah, that was definitely on purpose for the intro.
Cody, what are you
Yes,
up
sir.
to, dude? You're on Thursday. You're with Robbie in the man me. What's up?
That's right,
My
baby.
back hurts, man. Carrying the team here. I'm needed everywhere.
Yeah, at work you're needed. You're needed from the dad bods. Just
Calling in the closer.
Yeah. No, man, it's too much fun. I can't help myself. So if you guys give me the shot, you know I'm going to take it.
Okay, LeBron. What's up?
More like Steve
Rob.
Kerr.
Okay. Yeah. You carried Michael Jordan then. I mean,
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
I love that speech. but-
Speaking of
It
that,
is
you
a
see
great.
Kyrie's trying to go to LA.
Yeah, and
Oh, it's a
KD wants
mess
out now too.
it's a
To
mess.
Phoenix.
Yep.
That would be kind of fun.
That'd be fun in the West.
Robbie,
Yes, sir.
we had some big news happen to us from last night to today
That's right. Me and Mario have been on a mission.
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of help from whoever we could get.
Everybody.
It, like from everyone that we interact with, from all the fantasy gurus that we interact with. We appreciate. But go ahead and tell them.
Yeah, everyone that supported us through that whole process, we greatly
Big
appreciate
shots.
it. It was awesome to see the kind of community that we're starting to build, which is fun to see everyone kind of support us through that whole thing with so Mario came up with the name. Go on, Mario.
I love it when you call me Big Papa.
Throw your hands in the air.
I know that it's Olave. Like I completely understand.
We get it.
But you just
It's a
do
pun
like
on
the slant
words.
rhyme. Yeah.
It's a
I've
pun on
actually been
words.
singing that to myself today, just after reading
Love it
it
when
several
you
times
call
today.
me-
Like it's catch. It's really, really good work, Mario. It's catchy.
Yeah. Did you come up with that yourself? You didn't see that.
I
You
did.
just I
And-
love it.
And I did a Twitter search, make sure that I didn't see it spelled Papa like 3 different ways. Put the it, remove the it. I was just looking. I wanted to be original with it.
Yeah.
I know it's too long, but Yahoo
it was
allows
good.
30 characters. We can make this work.
It
I
was
think
good.
I like it without the it. I was actually debating that just looking at it.
I initially posted it without the it
Yeah.
because
It's okay.
Olave win, and like it almost sounds like it. Olave it win.
It does.
But I
Yeah.
just said it. Sorry.
It's all good.
Like when you
Um,
just said it, you didn't do the it, and it sounded right.
Yeah.
So let's give
Yeah.
everyone the kind of rundown here. So we are in a contest right now, a bracket contest for best original fantasy football name for this upcoming season. We went with Mario's "I love it when you call me Big Pop," and we are currently in the finals after a vicious battle to get through the semifinals. We called in all the favors.
Finals!
It was a lot of work, but we got through. We made it. There were a lot of votes on. There was like 400 or 500 votes or something on that. So,
Yeah.
if I'm not
less,
mistaken, I
about
could be wrong,
300.
but 300.
300. Yeah.
But yeah,
What's the prize,
So-
Rob?
yeah. So we get in the.
If
I know
all
the
those
SF
go with
Bowl,
this
but
last round, Scott Fish Bowl 12.
Scott Fish Bowl 12, which is a huge bowl,
Big.
a huge
All-
fantasy league.
It's
all
the
the
big
big
one.
boys,
It's the big one. Yep.
all
are
the
in it.
big name fantasy football players are in it,
The
and
ESPN
this is to
crew's
get
in it.
yeah, this is to get in there. Where's the draft, Mar? You said Canton.
Well, they have like I want to say it's 10 live cities. Canton is one
Yeah.
of them. That part I'm not certain how that works, like because I don't know if you have to be in certain leagues to go
Like
to
a
the live draft. So I'm
region
not
or-
positive.
yeah.
But there
And they're
is a
soon.
lot.
They're
draft
like
in
early
Canton.
July usually. Like it's
Mhm.
probably
This one-
coming up.
The one in Canton, I think, is July 9th.
Yeah.
So if we
But
get
still
in
gotta
this,
we gotta get through this last round. We don't want to. We're wanting to be in Scott Fish Bowl like crazy. Like I've been trying to get in this for when we were fantasy bye week. I tried. We had no shot. We took 2 years off, came back, and I've been trying it since we started doing this, which was in April for this new one. Dude, I want to be in it so bad. I think it's such a cool community. I want
I
to.
think we all want in. Yeah,
Why don't I just call him?
You could.
you know, Scott.
I see. I think it's weird we haven't got an invite, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. But
Hey.
if we get in, it's a huge. I mean, it really is the best of
The
the
big one.
best, the biggest
Yeah.
honor you can have as in this community. And if we get in, we'd be super stoked. Like
Yeah.
we're happy to get to where we are just with how much support
Yeah, I had fun with this.
and all the interaction that we've had in the past 2 days. Like it's been crazy, but we want it. So please tell all your friends, tell everyone
Keep
you know, go vote. Please,
Last
it's
round,
pinned
baby.
up on
This is
our
it.
page. It's pinned on our Twitter, so go there. Please help us out. Tell all your friends. We'd greatly appreciate it. But I do have to give all the credit to Mario on the name. So we're there because of the name.
Well, and
Thank you,
I wanna
Rob.
let me throw something in there real quick. So you guys kind of thanked everybody, which is a great thing to do because the community has been great.
I wish
But
we
you
could do all
two-
the names, but there's been so many people.
Yeah.
And
You two, honestly, like deserve just as much credit. You two have churned and burned on Twitter. You've worked your tails off,
grind.
and you've earned every ounce of this. So if we get there, it is 100% on you two, and you've done great work.
Thank you, Cody. Do we have like another minute more for like to me kind of just to give the quick rundown of Robbie and I's day and okay. So Robbie said something interesting. He said this community we built. Yeah, it's our own community, but I think it's more like this community that's accepting us. So
Yeah.
just like a small tidbit. You guys are awesome. I know you've given me and Robbie credit, but like a lot of the credit is due to the people that we reached out and said, "Hey, dude, we like, can you help? Can you give us some love? Like, that's all we're asking. We just want to win a contest. Like, we're not trying to get anything outside of this, outside of some votes." And everybody was just warm. Anybody that we even asked, and maybe they declined it and said, "I've been declining other people about this." And I don't even know if it was like, I even said to one of the bigger accounts, I said, "Is this proper etiquette? I don't know how this works." Like,
yeah,
I just know that this guy just got a ton of retweets. Like, how do we catch up? Like, so it's been great. It's been warm. Like, I love this community. I love that the people are welcoming. I know that like if we continue to grow, if we have a big following, I think one of my favorite things to do, and I feel like we've already shown this a little bit, is like, if you want to come guest. I don't care. Have a good mic, have a good camera. Like that's all we really ask. Like if it's your first time being on and you're trying to get into the podcast space, that's fine, dude. You come give it a little whirl and like we'll kind of
Just
go
DM
with
us.
it. And yeah, like we want to be able to give back as much. Like we might not have the following, we might not have the viewers, but we have this platform. Like we have this, which is kind of bigger than some people do. And like we have the setup, we will stream to wherever you want. So like we are here to help whoever wants to. We're here to
100%.
engage. We're here to interact. And like,
and I will say this too with this whole thing and the past few weeks, there have been a ton of people, and I'm excited to get to the point where we start doing this. We've had numerous people ask like, "Hey man, I really like what you're doing. I love you guys interacting with us. I'd love to come on and guest with you." Like there's some I mean, an account with 8,000 people, there's accounts like 5,000 people that they're saying, "Hey, let me come on. Let's do this. I want to help out. I want to interact with you guys." They
Always
like
willing to help. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's fun, man. It's fun. It's cool to see that there's actually some like decently big accounts that notice us, and they're not kind of like, "Oh, he's only," it is what it
They're
is.
willing
Like
to help.
it's cool. It's fun to
Yeah.
get along with it.
We were grinding though yesterday. Like, we were trying to fill
We
a
were.
mock draft. We really didn't want that to be CPU. So Robbie's like messaging. I mean, he was going through it like messaging, "Hey, do you want to get in this mock draft? Hey, do you want to get in this mock draft?" I'm messaging other people like, "Help us get some votes. Help us get some votes."
Yeah, we
Like,
were back and forth, back and forth. It was
Yeah,
I mean,
and
it was an
one time
exhausting day, but
Robbie's messaging. Shout out to the NFT Tailgate Club, our
Yeah.
Discord. It's in our link tree. Make sure you check it out. They do some really cool stuff, giveaways. Quick plug there. But shout out to them because Robbie's like messaging them on Twitter, and I'm going in the Discord like, I don't know what Robbie's doing, y'all. I can message you guys right here, and he's messaging them on Twitter. I was like,
Okay, that's
"Yo,
good,
is he-"
actually.
Yeah, like I
What are you
actually
gonna
did
do?
say, I was like, dude, I don't know why Robbie's messaging you guys, but you guys
There's
want to do a mock?
two people I definitely want to shout out though. Rob Norton, Mario, you hit him up. He was a huge help. He retweeted us the first time, and he just did it again to help us out. And he's got a huge following.
Miss
So
you, Rob. I'm ready for you to come on here. He's gonna come guest
so
with
he's
us
a cool
eventually.
dude. He'll be on, and then also, he was in one of our mocks. Conan Grun, I believe his name's Connor. I got to double check, but one stat one day. He's got an awesome account. I'm always talking about it. It's a fun account. Go follow it if you don't. He wants to come on too. He's a cool guy, and he's been helping us out. He's retweeted us saying go vote. So just a couple
Everybody,
people that we really appreciate, and all the
but like we
like you
appreciate
said,
all of it.
yeah, it's been fun.
Like, there's a couple other people that I had, and I don't have it right in front of me, but like I know I can't thank you guys enough. That was long winded, Rob. We got into that.
I'm exhausted.
Let's get
again.
into this news. Let me get popping on our news here. Robbie has something he wanted to really bring up today because he mentioned it in our last podcast, but I guess he didn't get to talk about it enough. We were going to do a video. We just couldn't get the video loaded.
Yeah,
Robbie,
I was a little upset about it.
Miles Sanders comments. He said, "Don't draft me."
Yeah.
I guess, is that paraphrasing? Is that exactly what he said?
Paraphrasing. He did say don't. So paraphrasing what he said was, if you're unhappy with 2 or 3 points, don't draft me. That's our offense. It's kind of paraphrasing. And from your starting running back, which people have high hopes for him this season, it's maybe an RB2. It's kind of concerning to hear him talk about that's the offense we run. So don't draft me. And he's concerned about touches, and he said he doesn't get enough touches in the offense and that kind of stuff like that. I retweeted it on our Twitter, so go take a look at it. Put a GIF with Michael Scott with his kind of face. When I just listened, it was like a 50-second clip. Just listening to it, I was very like, ooh, whoa. I'm kind of double thinking drafting Miles Sanders after those comments.
I was kind of fading him already, but I was
yeah.
starting to grow onto him. So now I just have to just determine, like, is this June or is this truth, fact or fiction? T-Mac gets paid 3-year extension for $70 million. Cody, how pumped are you for T-Mac?
It's slid T-Mac right into my top 12 receivers at number 12. So I love it.
We talk a little bit more about T-Mac today. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we will. It depends if you choose to, but I brought it up. I've got it on there.
Okay. Well, because we're already 14 minutes in, Cody's got a bedtime at 9:15, so we're already keeping him up past his bedtime. So because we're already 15 minutes in, let's kind of get into our first time going in this segment, which is same team ADP. Robbie has it titled ADP Problems. We want to check out the guys that are being drafted from the same team, where their ADP are, is where the ADP is. Who would you rather kind of segment?
Yeah.
But about players from the same team. Mm-hmm. So, Robbie, kick us off with our first two.
Yeah. So we got Zeke and Pollard, which I think we talk about them kind of a lot, but I think it's a very interesting debate between the two of them because Zeke, I know everyone was kind of fading Zeke a little bit last year, and he didn't have as great of a year, but he still did finish RB7 with 252 fantasy points PPR, and he's going ADP RB18. It's kind of crazy to think about.
The price is still right on him. I'm down on him, and that price doesn't scare me a bit.
Me too.
No,
Me
the
too.
price
Like
is all right.
watching his ADP kind of plummet this offseason, it's making me reconsider how much I want him on my team. I would love to pair the
Yeah,
two
but there's
of them.
moments. There's waves.
Yeah.
It's
been
touch.
ve-
Honestly,
it's been
looking
very
at the
wavy.
stats, you can see it. There's a lot of touchdown dependency in that fantasy
100%.
production.
100%. So Pollard's going, he finished RB 28 last year with 162 fantasy points PPR, and he's going ADP RB 31, 85th overall. Everyone kind of knows my love for Pollard by now. I think he's going to be a PPR machine. I think he's going to get just
I don't think that's
nailed
it.
with targets. I really do.
I don't think that's it.
How many
You think-
carries do you
I don't
think, Mario?
Go ahead.
I can't remember.
Just
what
Speak
an idea.
on it. Speak on it. Because I'm with you. I think it's gonna be close-
160 to 180.
I think 160 is fair. That's probably the number I'd put on it.
I got him
but
around
tons
180.
Tons of receiving work.
I
got
can't
him
tell
around
you how
180.
much of this take. Yeah, I can't tell you how much of this take for me. I had Robbie in my ear for a really long time. This take is all based, like, you can't look at Tony Pollard's stats right in front of us, and I know there's more reception yards, and get excited about it. This is all an eye test right here. If maybe even a highlight video. I went back and watched all the Dallas games. I have been kind of slacking on my watching, but I did get all the Dallas games. And my God, the dude looks talented.
How
and
good
it's like
is he?
insane because Zeke has a very patient style of run. Like, he is very patient. He'll kind of find the hole. I love Le'Veon Bell was very similar to that. Takes their
It's
time
pretty
right
football.
behind the line.
Nick Chubb.
It's beautiful.
pretty
It's beautiful running. And then it was weird because as the season goes on, you see Pollard and I, if I remember correctly, I don't remember seeing this in 2020. You see Pollard develop the same sort of thing, and I'm just like, chef's kiss.
Yeah, man.
That looks juicy.
Watching the later games, he looks really comfortable. He looks really, really.
And he was big on special teams.
He looks very explosive, like way
On
more
special
explosive
teams, he
than
looks good.
Zeke.
Yeah.
I mean,
So
yeah.
we had a tweet today that talked about that too, and somebody was like, I just don't know if I feel good about your Tony Pollard flex. And he's like, in the first half. And I'm like, I think you raise a
It's
good
fair.
point, because like, it is very fair. Because if we imagine this, like, Tony Pollard could finish RB20, and the majority of that could come from the second half, like that sort of work.
I'm gonna keep going
like,
I'm gonna keep going. Even when he doesn't get the carries, I still think he's gonna get 8 targets a game.
Come on, Rob. That's a lot.
6.
It's a lot.
6. Sorry, not 8. So
I
let me
think
break
you're
this
probably
down.
I think you're probably averaging
6
4
is
to
about
5 a
100
game.
targets.
Let me pull.
That's Swift numbers. He's not that.
I have him for
Like 4 to 5 is already feeling a little
okay. So I got
high.
76 targets. It's not crazy.
So that's about divided by 18 is what? 4,
17.
7.
close to 4.
You like 18 game seasons, Mario. This isn't
It's
your first
interesting.
time.
17.
18
Yeah.
weeks. Son. So
It's
76.
over 4. It's like 4.5.
And I really think that's lowballing it in this offense. I really do, because I think he's
Let me
going to
ask you
be
this.
in the
I mean,
slot a lot.
Let me ask you this. What do you see Zeke's receptions doing? Because Zeke's always been
I think
a fairly
they're going down.
okay. Because like, if we're gonna say Zeke's gonna get 70 targets, which I think he's probably done fairly consistently, or at least in that ballpark,
So
I don't think
I
the
have-
running backs are getting 150. So I don't.
No,
think they
I
can
have
get
him
70
dropping.
apiece,
I have
is
him
what I'd
dropping
say.
to around 50.
Okay, even 120 to 130 is a lot to the running backs, but maybe.
But
Let's see.
so I do that because, again, I'm considering Pollard, like, yeah, he's going to be a running back, but I also think they're going to play him in the slot a lot. Like, I think they're going to find him ways to get the ball.
Let's end it with this. Who would you take? Is it you're drafting Zeke at his ADP over Tony Pollard at his ADP? And not like, I need you to think about this like in the sense of like, is this good enough value you would take Zeke?
Yeah. So
Is this,
31,
are
you're
you going Tony Pollard, and then if it's I'm going both, say that. So you first, Cody.
I've been a little slower to climb on the Pollard train, but I'm getting there. But actually, I think both these ADPs are right. I think this is an ADP not problem at the moment, but we'll see what it does. So I'll say I
So you're
would buy
going-
on both, I think.
Okay. Robbie?
My plan. So if I would like to take them both, I would do that. If I can get Zeke in the third, mid to late third, that's a steal. And I would kind of use him as trade bait. I'd play him for the first couple weeks, and then I would end up trying to trade him midway through the season. And I
It's
would.
not going to happen.
I know.
Unless you're in a rookie league.
Yeah, I know. I don't see Zeke getting to the late third. I don't see it. It could happen, I guess.
Basketball happens all the time, but different
yeah.
game.
Different game. Yeah, I'm gonna say Pollard.
Not both, right?
No,
I'm
I'd
with
rather
Rob.
have somebody else in the third.
I've already done about 10 or so mocks, and I haven't touched Zeke, and I've done a ton of best ball and haven't touched Zeke. I am not saying it's bad. The ADP is bad, so I don't know how to kind of express what I'm saying. I just fade him. I don't do it. I don't know what. I guess I just don't trust it. And Cody already is going to make fun of me, but this is how I kind of am with these sort of, aging running backs.
Long in the tooth running back.
I don't love him either, so I don't hate that. It's just where he's fallen. You're
I could see you taking him.
I probably could, because if he's really going at RB18 and I'm staring at, let's say it's Josh Jacobs,
Fair.
I can't even think. Let's say it's
Josh
Josh Jacobs, Antonio
Brees
Gibson,
Hall.
and Zeke. Then I'm
It'd
taking
be like
Zeke
Brees
of that
Hall
group.
too, right?
Yeah,
Would
but
you take
I
Brees
probably
Hall?
would take Zeke. No, I'd take Zeke.
Oh, come on. No.
So you gotta think Travis Etienne's probably still on the board.
He's in that area, and that's probably one I'd take over Zeke.
That's a huge reach at that point, though. So
It is.
That does it makes.
But
it
I'd
tougher
rather
to take
have
it over
Etienne over Zeke.
I think I would
too, but I'm just saying you probably would go with a wide receiver before you'd reach for ETN and.
But that's what I'm saying. So like in the
Yeah, you
third,
just
I'd
fade.
rather follow it up
Take a
with an
receiver.
ETN in the
Yeah.
fourth.
If you're just, I guess, and I probably would do the same. So maybe that does take me out of Zeke. But just when I look the running backs going around him, I don't like Gibson. I don't really like Jacobs. I don't like Cam Akers. I don't like Saquon that much. Like, I start to like Zeke if I'm forced to take a running back in that area.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Cody, how about you introduce these two next backs, because I know you have some love for one.
I think I have a little love for both. It just bothers me how little love he gets. So on the one side, we have Aaron Jones, top 5 in NFL history in yards per carry. If anyone didn't know that, and that's not last season, that's history, NFL history, top 5
in his career,
efficient
right?
running back in his career.
Really?
Top 5.
He better stop now. Look at it, it's already dipping 4.7.
It is dipping a little bit. I will.
Where's
admit
Chubb
that.
on that list?
He's
actually ahead of him.
Yeah.
I think
Aaron Jones.
I think Jones is 5th and Chubb's 4th, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong.
Oh,
but
so
it's
Chubb's higher.
like
Chubb's higher. Okay.
Yeah. And Jamal Charles is there, and then I think the others were a couple of older players.
Chubb has some crazy stats.
Yeah. So we got Aaron Jones going. He was RB11 in 2021 with 229 fantasy points. That's a lot of twos. And then ADP is RB12, 22 overall for this year. And then we got AJ Dillon, RB23 in 2021. Quadzilla himself. He's been doing squats with Josh Allen. ADP is RB26, 62 overall.
Yeah.
So Cody.
Yes, sir.
What is your take here? You buying both? You buying one? You buying?
Here's what I'll say, and this is maybe just with the mocks we've did. Okay, I think RB12 for Aaron Jones is about right. So I'm not going to say I'm buying or fading it. I actually think that's about right. What I'll say is I've seen him, in my opinion, go a little later than that, and I think the value gets to be really good.
Sometimes really early though too. It's actually kind of a weird range,
but it is weird.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
In our auction, he went for pretty expensive. That I was surprised about.
Yeah, he was up there. He was with the top 5, 6.
Yeah. So I guess it does depend. I could butcher this, but I think not our first mock. It might have been that ESPN draft I sent you, Mara, but I think I got him in the 3rd, which is an exception.
No way.
That's a steal.
I'm pretty sure it was, but I guess I just say RB12 is right. I think his ADP is right. So I'm not going to say he's a buy or a sell there. I think it's right. So if I don't think there's much there, I actually am going to surprise you and say Dillon is probably the buy.
Robbie, you making some faces.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm taking both at the ADPs. I really am. I love both ADPs. I'll take again this I've said it before, I'll say it again. This backfield reminds me so much of the one we just talked about in Dallas. I think Aaron Jones is going to be, again, I think he's going to get a ton of targets. I think Aaron Rodgers trusts him more than most of his receivers, and I think he'll be lined up in the slot too. I think they're both be on the field at the same time, and I think they're both going to be very, very good plays in fantasy football. They both could end up in the top 24 easily.
And I think that is actually a smart move by Green Bay, because as much as I've loved
Yeah.
Aaron Jones over the year, he has gotten dinged up here and there, little things.
It's not too bad, though.
Not too bad. It's never big stuff, but it's just like he
Yeah.
leaves a game fairly often. I feel like I'll watch a Packers game and I'm like, there goes Aaron Jones to the sideline again. Like, I feel like that stuff happens quite a bit with him. Like, if you told me this year that Aaron Jones is going to get 150 carries and be a bigger part of the receiving game because of their lack of weapons, I'm excited for that.
That's what
Not
I'm thinking.
Discouraged by it.
That's where I'm at. I still think he'll finish top 15 RBs, and I think Dylan will be in the top 24. I think these are ADPs. I think they're steals.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm on the Robbie night tonight because not that I have any of the mocks. He's been a guy that I haven't been able to get either, but there's been times where I'm like, if he falls, I'm going with him. If he falls, I'm going.
Are we talking Dylan? Or are we talking
Aaron Jones?
Okay.
Yeah, because like Zeke, I'm never eyeing him up like, okay, one more spot, baby, one more spot. Aaron Jones, there's been at least 3 different drafts where I'm like, please, I'll go with you. And he never quite falls to me. So I'm buying both also. I really like AJ Dillon. I think I know it's already been talked about. It's been said before. It's not my own original thought, but I do kind of think he's like Derrick Henry. He's big. He's kind of behind a back that reminds me of DeMarco Murray in a lot of ways. This is a weird situation. Reminds me of Tennessee.
Say you got 4th pick, 5th pick, you go Justin Jefferson. Would you be comfortable with him being your RB1?
Aaron Jones?
Yeah.
That's a tough question.
Is he the best RB2 in the league? Because I think that might be the answer.
That's the question.
He might be the best RB2 in the league.
That's the question. Like, I think he's RB2 with the upside of like a low end RB1.
I think he's your favorite kind of RB2. Like,
see, this is the problem with going at
RB2.
A wide receiver at 5. Like, I love Justin Jefferson, but you come back and it's like Javonte Williams.
Yeah, it's too early for Aaron Jones there. I mean, Aaron Jones, what did it say? I think it's 22 overall.
I think it's a little bit early for Javonte too, but like you're really in that RB dead zone for.
Say you take Cooper Kupp at the 2nd pick.
It's different because you at least fallen into a guy like Javonte Williams. You fall into a couple other RBs that are going in the 23 through 28.
22, right?
I would go with Aaron Jones there.
I just remember my draft scenario, and this is good to what you're saying. This is really good. I remember what it was. I had the 1st pick in our first mock we did, and I took Taylor. And I remember as it was coming back around, Aaron Jones, I believe, was sitting there fairly late in the round. I'm like, no way. And I'm like, man, if I compare Taylor and Aaron Jones at that 2-3 turn, but it didn't come through and I took Mark Andrews. But I think that's what I was remembering when I was thinking like, man, I got him like right there near the 3rd. I think that was the scenario. And if that were to play out, I think that is just a beautiful spot. I really do.
It's an interesting one.
We're gonna do one more here, and I want to switch it up.
These are fun.
Switch it. We had on the docket 4, but I think for time's sake, we're just gonna do one more. We've talked about the other one. It's Melvin Gordon and Javonte Williams. So if you guys want to give a quick answer on that, just a yes or no. So like, okay, wait, let me get the screen up. You got Cody
we'll do a
quick
rapid fire.
I'm in the no fun league here. So Javonte Williams being drafted as the RB10, 18 overall. Melvin Gordon being drafted as the RB36, 99 overall. Buying both, fading one, fading both. Go, Cody.
Fading Gordon, buying Javonte, and I'm going to get burnt by it. I know it already.
I'm buying Gordon, fading Javonte all day.
Reverse, yep.
I'm with Cody. Buying Javonte, fading Gordon. I haven't been able to land Javonte in some, but I have got him in a couple.
All right.
Here's what I can't. And maybe it should be a buy on both because I love Javonte like you do, Mario. But Melvin, that price is so cheap. I mean, I can
so
hardly
cheap.
fault anybody for taking him as RB36.
It's so cheap.
Like,
I got him
if
$2
somebody's-
yesterday. It'll be my. I mean, I still think it's gonna be 50-50 there, but I
I
digress.
don't know. Robbie, kick us off
Yeah.
with this last one, dude.
I thought this one was an interesting one.
I think it is. I don't think it's one that we've talked about a lot.
No,
so
we
this
haven't.
one's
We haven't talked
Easiest
too much
one
about
for
what.
me. The easiest one for me.
Okay, so we got
It's pretty easy for
Tyreek
me, too.
and Waddle. So Tyreek finished wide receiver 6th in 21 in Kansas City with 296 fantasy points. He's going ADP wide receiver 8, 19th overall. Waddle he finished 13th, wide receiver 13 and 21 with 245 fantasy points. ADP wide receiver 13, 39th overall. Cody, it's pretty easy, huh, for you?
And this is less of a I'm in love with Tyreek, but I am fading Waddle at wide receiver 13. I am not
Oh,
in at
shoot.
all. Not in at all. Here's where I look at the scenario. He was a reception monster. I get it. In PPR leagues, I 100% get it. He caught so many balls, and that's what saved him because he's barely a 1,000-yard receiver with 6 touchdowns. But you put Tyreek on
As
that
a rookie.
team, you still got Gesicki as a rookie. But the fighting for targets is going to be massive on that team, in my opinion. I don't see a 104 reception repeat. And so if you give me a player that is saving grace as 104 receptions, and I say I don't think there's any way he's getting 104 receptions, then I'm fading that all day. And he's being drafted exactly where he finished last year, and Tyreek Hill came to his team. How? How would you bring Tyreek Hill to your team and then draft this wide receiver 2 as if he was the wide receiver? He dropped from wide receiver 1 to wide receiver 2 by a mile, and you're drafting where he finished last year? No way. No way.
Mario?
I thought this was easy to Cody for so many different ways, and I am beyond.
What did
I
you?
don't-
You
I'm
thought I was going to like
speechless.
Waddle, huh? That's interesting.
I have faded Tyreek so
I'll
much in
probably
this
fade
offense.
both. I'll probably fade both, but it's
And-
a harder fade on Waddle.
So let's and this is
Fair.
again, we did an auction mock, and Waddle went for $13.
As he
And
should.
I don't know. No way. That is so cheap.
That was
It's
late,
cheap.
though.
It wasn't that late, Rob. I still had a ton of money and I blew it and I
You
missed out.
finished
It
with a
wasn't as
ton of
late as
money.
you think. Yeah, it wasn't as late as you think, though, is all I'm saying.
Okay.
But
I've
like,
got him as
I
my wide
think-
receiver
I think
21.
I don't have them ranked super high. So like, I probably am fading both as well. Actually, I know I'm fading both
Let me
as
see.
well.
Where I have
But I still like, if I had to pick,
I got him at 30.
I would take Waddle at the ADP over Tyreek at that ADP. I'm not.
No, I'd take.
Oh,
I'd take-
easy.
I think
That's
Tyreek's
easy.
ADP is about right at wide receiver 8. I think Waddle's way too high.
I think the bigger
Cody-
question, right, is 19 over 39. That's a 20 spot difference.
Yeah, it's Tyreek Hill versus
I
I
agree.
caught 6 TDs, Jalen Waddle.
Tyreek Hill, who came from Andy Reid's offense, who was playing with Patrick Mahomes. Like,
But I actually
Waddle-
like this coach, Mario.
I
I'm not saying he's
really
Andy
like
Reid,
this
but I
coach
like
too.
it.
He's not Andy Reid, and like
Yeah.
whether you love him or not, like I do think he's going to do great things to this offense. But
Yep.
where's he coming from, Rob? Tell me where he's
San
coming from.
Fran,
What tree?
baby.
He's not going to
What
Freddie
tree is
Kitchens,
that?
though.
The Shanahan tree.
The Shanahan tree. What do?
They don't.
They do have
go to
13
wide
running
receiver
backs,
1.
So.
They don't love wide receiver ones. We haven't seen it since Julio. Even last year, Debo only had about. Help me if I'm way off here.
It was
120
low hundreds.
targets.
77?
Low
Well, I was going to say
100s.
77 receptions. or
Target
something like
wise.
that.
Yeah, that's about right on his receptions,
Yeah.
but it was about 117, 120 targets. So like they just don't get targeted. And this dude,
I don't think it was that high.
and if it was 107 at lowest, but 107 through 120. Let's just say that's the range. This is a guy that's making it very clear that he's coming to Miami and he is running the same offense. Look what he did in the backfield. He's like, oh, let me get 5 different RBs, keep everybody on their toes. Everything he's saying, Tyreek's there. Everything that he's saying, he's like, let me just spread this offense. And that's what's going to happen. That's why I think I'm fading both. But if Waddle fell, I would take Waddle at that ADP over Tyreek at that one. If Waddle fell probably 6 spots, I'd probably take him a lot more.
This is a tough one. It really is. I still think Tyreek's going to be heavily involved. I think they're going to do some creative ways to get him the ball, kind of how they did Debo. Maybe a few runs, because he has done that in the past a lot more than people think. He's lined up in the backfield done a few weird things in Kansas City like that, which I can see them doing that in Kansas City or in Miami. I if you can get, I'm seeing Tyreek go late twos in the late second. I would take him I'd take him late second.
As wide receiver 8, I feel like that's probably where he's going pretty regularly. Yeah.
I would take him late in the second.
I don't like it at all.
Can I throw in one tidbit on the Tyreek stats? Because it surprised me there when you showed it to me. He had a weird year last year. Because when I saw 111 receptions and 11 yards per reception, I'm like,
it's lower. It was lower last year. He did it in a different way.
He did do it in a different way. I mean, 111 receptions. The guy, his career high before that was in the 80s. His career high on targets before last year was in the 130s. And so he's a guy that, I would agree that his target share is coming down. I guess the question is, can he be that 14, 15-yard reception guy he had been throughout his career? Because I think that's that helps a ton with Mario's concern, because I think your concern's good. But I think Tyreek Hill can be a stud with 130 targets. He's done it most of his career until last year.
The stat that I would love to pull up, which I don't have on hand, is yards after catch and where he finished in the ranks of receivers with that, because I still think that was up there. Because I just think it was shorter passes that he was.
Even just yards per reception, I'll read these off. 15.8, 17.0, 14.8, 14.7. You're incredibly consistent there, especially the 14s and 15s. And then 11.2. Really just weird. And I'm not trying to paint it any which way. No, it was just a weird thing.
The whole Kansas City offense kind of
and I think
took
I want
a
to
weird step back.
Let's imagine this though, Cody.
Mm-hmm.
If he is getting less yards per catch in a offense that he was, it was Kelsey. That's it, right? Now
that feels like the anomaly though, doesn't it? If I have 5 years of one thing and 1 year of something else, that feels like
not if you're aging.
Does it? If you're aging, do you really consider him? I mean,
he's 29. Right?
He's 28, maybe. I don't think he's 29 yet. I mean, he's young for a receiver. I think it's unfair to say aging at this point.
I think the league is getting a lot younger in how we're seeing these guys tan out. And I know 29 is not the death.
You better get off of Cooper Kupp and Devontae Adams then too, if that's your reason. I mean, like that would be an unfair reason to knock him if you're still going to have Cooper Kupp as your number 1 and Devontae as your number 3.
I don't think that's necessarily true. There's a different sort of style that Tyreek plays. Tyreek is a speedster, and I'm not saying he's losing speed at all, but typically as you age, that's the first thing that goes. Well, you got Devontae Adams, who's very much a TD reception machine, and Cooper Kupp is very much a short slant sort of guy. It's a different sort of game but they're all playing, all three of them.
And I actually don't. You might know this better than me. I don't think straight line speed's actually the first thing to go. I think it's the lateral quickness.
I agree. Quick twitch.
But like you look at guys like Deshaun Jackson, he was doing it at 35 years old. You look at guys like
that's not true. Deshaun never did it at 35.
Oh well, big play guy. He never did it.
Yeah.
He had his speed. He had his speed at 35. That's what I'm saying.
He did. Like you're saying, a lot. He lost a lot.
In saying that Tyreek Hill doesn't have his speed at 28 feels like a big stretch.
That's not what I'm saying. That is not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's possible that he comes out.
I'm glad I walked in on
okay, so it's possible, but you're not saying it's possible. I'm not sure what you're going with here.
You're twisting my words.
Get him, Cody.
Go ahead. So say your words. Say it the way you want to say it. Tell me how you want to word Tyreek Hill slow now.
I said he had less yards per catch. Are we not concerned if he doesn't have anything to do with
speed, man?
Are you concerned that he's slower, Mario?
No, he's not slower.
So okay, we're good then. So it's an anomaly.
So what do you say?
His lateral moves might be slowing down.
Here we go.
Why isn't he getting as much yards per catch? Tell me. Give me the answer. Why did that happen? What?
I think it was.
It was just a random thing, a random occurrence.
Did you watch him last year?
Everything has causation. No,
did you watch him last year?
I'll let you know. I said no.
It was not the same offense.
I watched him, but if you're asking if I've rewatched the games yet, no.
Tell you, Mahomes was not the same quarterback. The offense wasn't run the same. It was just kind of a jumbled mess. It really was.
Mahomes wasn't the same quarterback, so that might be worrisome. But we're okay with Tua. Interesting.
No, he still came. He still had 111 catches.
I'm just not worried about Tyreek's speed.
Yeah, but I'm just saying those targets won't be there. I'm just saying those targets won't be there. And if you're saying Patty Mahomes has anything to do with his yards per catch, what do you think Tua's going to do to it then?
If you don't think
Didn't you
It's
see
the
that
same,
nice
if
deep
not
ball that Tua
worse.
threw?
all I'm saying, if you don't think the NFL is gonna see what the Rams did with Cooper Cup and try to mimic that with
this
their
is
best
every wide
receiver,
receiver, dude. Come
no,
on.
it's not. There's only a handful of receivers that can do that. Tyreek, JJ,
No,
Debo. There's only a few that can mimic what they did with Cooper Cup.
I don't see any comparisons between Cooper Cup and Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Tyreek's
Other than
faster.
a playmaker, I guess. Yeah, they're completely different. It's way different games.
He's still a good route runner.
Basically, here's what it'll come down to. If you tell me you think Tyreek's only this is an okay thing to disagree on. It really is. If you tell me Tyreek's going to get 137 targets, I'm okay. I feel good about it. And that's
100%. That's the question.
Would he
That's
get,
not a
did he
big
get
number.
150 last year?
160, I think. 159.
Like
but career-wise, he's hovered in the 130s, and he's been a top 3 receiver hovering in the 130s. So if he is in the 130s, I feel okay with him.
Same. I think I have him at wide receiver 11, though.
That would be pretty low.
I got him at 7.
Definitely. Wait, do you have it in front
I'm
of
not
you?
even high on Tyreek. I don't even know why I'm defending Tyreek. I just think wide receiver 8's a fine price.
Yeah, I think it's right there.
You want yours, Mario?
What am I at? I don't even know what
Hold on.
I have him at 8.
And then we're moving on.
Rob's got him at 7. Mario's got him
You got
at
him
10.
at 10, Mario.
See, I don't think that's that
Rob,
bad.
you're the high guy.
Cody
Chime
has
in
him
a
at
little
ADP.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I had to hit the bathroom.
See, if
but
you have them ranked at ADP, how are you drafting that? That's where I think that's the last question.
Yeah, no, I said I'm not. My exact opening statement was this isn't really about Tyreek, but I am fading Jalen at that. And then you went on your Tyreek rant. So it really had nothing to do with me loving Tyreek.
I guess so. Like, is it good ADP if you rank a guy at ADP? Like, does that make it good ADP? Because isn't that you ranking him at, like, where's the wiggle room there? I mean, I guess you're not
that's
ranking him
ADP,
at a ceiling.
so I would
that's
assume
not great.
it's good. It's not, it's your.
I guess it means I'd probably take him in that spot if there was no one else that slid, I suppose. I mean, like I think when you're talking,
like, would you draft him at that spot?
And it's probably late second. And if the wrong players, so like if it was Aaron Jones and Tyreek Hill, that's a good comp. I would take Aaron Jones for me. But I can see that that's the spot where I think if you were looking for a receiver, that's probably Tyreek's probably the guy there. So that's the type of decision I think you're probably making at that point in the draft.
Yeah, that's where I probably, and that's probably where I pivot to, like, if Tyreek.
Who's your wide receiver 1 going to be? Do you want Tyreek or do you want Michael Pittman?
Michael Pittman.
Okay.
For cost, let's not get this too crazy.
Yeah, because you're going. That's early third from what I've seen.
Yes.
Okay.
It used to be back before inflation happened.
Now it's early third.
It used to be late third, early fourth.
No, now it's early third, man.
Man,
early third. That's getting close to Tyreek. It's getting close.
That's what I'm saying.
Stupid.
So you know what you can still get cheap, Mario? Darrell Henderson.
I did it on my mock. I know you loved it.
Yep.
All right, let's introduce this new segment. Robbie, how do you want me to introduce it? Because I saw like, look at this beautiful visual we have.
Yeah.
Us against the world.
We need Brian to make a clip.
A drop.
Yeah.
What we did here is it kind of sounds like we spent the whole first 12 minutes praising how much we love the community and love you guys. This isn't against you guys. This is against expert rankings. The big shots, the big money makers. So we wanted to look at what we had players ranked versus what experts have them ranked, whether it's higher, whether it's lower. I think a lot of us kind of did who we're higher on. It just seems more fun to talk about. So I don't even know what round robin means.
One for each of us rather than, hey, let's hit 3 of Mario.
Oh, I agree.
Oh, yeah. I don't like doing that either. Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is somebody that's getting a lot of attention on Twitter. And I'm not going to say I was the first one to talk about him. I definitely wasn't. But, like, I have been excited about him for a little past month at least. Travis Etienne. So I have him ranked RB12. You know what, Cody? You know when I got hyped on him? When I traded
for him in Dynasty? I know. I was gonna call you
for
out, but I was like,
sure.
just let him have it. It'll be fine.
But like that's when you like so like everybody that I start trading, I have to start researching, right? You start researching,
Yeah.
you like sometimes you feel bad after a trade. I gave up a
You
ton.
usually
Don't
fall in
tell,
love.
don't tell our listeners, and I felt great. Yeah, I fell in love. So I have him at RB12. That's my ranking for him. Expert ranking is RB20. So let me give my points. You ready for him, Cody?
I'm ready. Real quick,
T-Law.
before you make your points, can I say something?
Well,
We're
you
the
said you were
three high
ready. So
guys
what
on
am I supposed to
Travis
do?
Etienne. Well, it's a
Oh,
good
God
thing.
damn it.
We're the three high guys on Etienne, so this will be good.
Okay. T-Law. What's do you have the rankings in front of you? I'd love to hear what you guys have.
Yeah, you're 12, Rob's 14, and I'm 18.
Wow, we are high. I know Robbie's high, but you're not too far from expert.
You've talked me
consensus, but
into
you are
him.
beat him.
You're like, it's like my Pollard.
T-Law checked down 11.3% of the time last year.
It's an interesting stat.
He led the league by a whole 2% almost. So the second person was Derek Carr, 9.5%. I'll give you a quick list if you want to see where everybody else falls. Matt Ryan, 9.3. Mac Jones, 8.3. Jared Goff, 8.1. Daniel Jones, 7.8. Ryan Tannehill, 7.7. Dak Prescott, 7.7. He, by some of these guys, what is that? I think that's 8 guys. He was 4% higher checking down the ball. And we're talking about a pass catching back. Let me tell you why he's a pass catching back. PFF College posted, don't know the date, Travis Etienne receiving ranks among RBs in 2020. He was 90.9 receiving grade. That's first amongst RBs. He had 588 receiving yards. That's first among RBs. He had 29 first down / TD receptions. Did you guess it? That's first among RBs. This dude, it could be one of the better pass catching backs that we've seen in a while. I don't know if I want to say that he'll be better than Kamara. I think he's got to be Swift. This has got to be the level of Swift. I'm all in. I try to get him in every draft I could get.
He's all in.
And I sometimes hate like feeling like this reach, but like late third. If it's late third, I'm doing it. Mid third, possibly.
We all like him,
gross.
and we're all above ADP. So I'm going to play just a little bit of devil's advocate, even though I like him more than the average. But I just want to throw the couple of things that
I don't think he missed.
should give you.
He didn't have an ACL injury, by the way, Rob. It was something else. It was a foot injury. It was like Liz Frank. I think.
Was it? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. I just saw it.
Maybe.
I think we've talked about this quite a bit. Running backs in bad offenses can be tough. Now, receiving backs do help that. So that's a positive. Yeah. But I think you can say the offense scares you a little bit. And the only other thing is James Robinson. But if you are just buying him based on the fact of him being an elite PPR back, those two things really kind of negate themselves then. And it makes the case almost even stronger. If you just say, no, I don't need 200 carries.
I don't.
Then you're golden. You're right. And then in that argument, you're golden.
Like, let's just think about Swift and what he did last year on a 2-15 team.
Yeah,
he was a monster. He finished
bad teams. You want the receiving back.
Yep. We will get him to him next. But I'm just like in the game. I'm sorry, I'm going to spoil this a little bit. He finished RB15, but he missed about 4 games, and like he was top 10 before that. So like, terrible offense at that time. He had 170 carries, so maybe he was on a little bit more of a higher pace than Etienne or what I expect, maybe. But it was all the receiving work. Give me it all day. Give me Etienne all day. I think his ADP, what was his ADP? I don't have it on 23.
23? Yeah.
Dude, he's my RB2. Like, I love it. It's so good.
Yeah,
like I had
he's
Najee
a fantastic
and
RB2. Dude, if you can have him your RB3, which is doable.
Dirty. Depends.
It won't happen by draft season.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
Oh, by draft season's over.
I think he's creeping late third.
He'll be mid third.
I will say
early third by draft season. I'm almost positive about it. Yeah.
Well, I shouldn't say.
I think Brees goes up.
I think he'll be
too.
RB 18 to 20 by draft season.
Okay. I think Brees goes up a little bit more too.
Yeah.
We're also not accounting for injuries.
Yeah.
All
right.
Cool. We'll keep it trucking. I don't actually know who this is, but
this is mine.
All right, there you go.
Little D Swift. Me and Mario are definitely the high 2. Cody, where do you have him?
These are our favorite backs, Rob. Like, we love these dudes.
I'll tell you why. Cody, where you got him?
Yep, I'm getting there real quick. I promise I'll be quick about it here.
Cody, where do you got him?
9.
9.
We're the 3 high on him too.
Yeah, so
Damn,
consensus is 8 for PPR. which is
wow.
That's good.
Our group is
right?
low on him then, other
Crazy.
than you two.
They
Yeah,
hate him.
Crazy. So I'm RB4. Mario, you're RB4 if I'm not mistaken.
3 for Mario.
3. Okay. I
I'm
don't
bouncing-
hate it.
tree.
I bounce between 3 and 5. If that makes it better,
Okay.
like I go 3, 5.
So let me get
He
my handy dandy notebook. It's like Blue's Clues over here. All right. So listen. So here we go. Right, 76 targets in 13 games. That's about 100 targets for the whole season. 151.
That looks good.
151 rushing attempts in 13 games. So this is a magic number. These two, right? These two extrapolated over 17 games gets him to the
I
magic
love the extrapolation.
200 rushing attempts and 100 targets. Okay. There were
That's the
players that
CMC
did
number.
2 players that did that last
CMC.
season. Okay.
Oh,
not last season.
Damn it.
So we have Austin Eckler with
Stud.
200 attempts, 88 targets. This is close to those numbers. Didn't even hit
Najee,
it.
the other one.
Bingo.
91 targets, right?
Najee had 307 attempts, 94 targets. They finished 2
Man, I almost
and
nailed that.
3. Okay. In 2020, the only player that came close to
CMC.
that, Alvin Kamara,
Oh, he was hurt then.
187 rushing attempts, 107 targets, finished number 1 PPR. And then
CMC,
we have-
CMC,
Talk about him.
CMC.
No, not CMC. There's another guy that's got to be close to those numbers that you should talk about. Lenny. Lenny's got to be close.
last year,
Yeah, he's got
180,
180,
180 and
180 and
had,
90 maybe.
he had 100 targets.
Okay, 180 and 100 then. Okay,
That's the same as Alvin Kamara.
Sure, but they don't hit the 200 and 100. He's still
no,
20.
No.
I mean, if
just
he had
wanted
those
to hype
20
Lenny
extra
a little bit in
rushes,
this. You're,
sure,
no,
I'm
The only
sure.
person I remember this ever happening with was CMC. And I think that was 2019.
19 and 18, which he was 1 and 2. So if he gets the 200, 100,
Can we get this magic moment drop? Because I think we
this
need it now.
magic number, when your
Pretty good.
targets are close to mine.
That's
No doubt
Headbang
about
into
it.
the magic moment.
And if you watch, I understand all these people want to talk. Oh my God, he has an injury. He's injury prone. This is
He got
a
drilled.
trash take. Trash take. Go watch
He
a
got
tape on how he got
drilled.
hurt. He was dragged down and pile drived on his shoulder, which 99.9% of the other running backs in the league would have been hurt on the same exact thing. It was a fluke injury. It's a trash injury. I have no concerns about his health. He's going to come back. He's going to be involved just like this. 200, 100. He's going to be a top 3 running back. Book it.
I don't want to say I don't have any concerns about his health. Actually, that's like
don't.
my only concern.
There
But
were no
I do
soft
agree-
tissues last year.
The injury was. But
shoulder.
if you're a pass catching back, you're gonna get hit up by some linebackers, dude. Get used to it.
That was a dirty hit, dude.
I don't
I'm
want
not-
to like I can't
especially
put
when you're like
injuries as in, like, a
206
fluke
pounds. I don't know
category.
what he weighs, but it can't be much more than that.
He put on some weight. He's looking.
He did.
Yeah.
He's like
Is he
240 now.
209? No, stop it.
Stop it, Rob.
He's a bowling ball.
Get
240.
out of here. Is he Maurice Jones-Drew now?
220.
man.
But
The
either way,
5'9" Derrick Henry.
either way, he's going to have, I'm predicting now 200, at least 200 attempts, at least 100 targets, and he's going to be a top 3
212.
running back.
I other than
212.
I do get worried about his injuries. I don't have much to kind of comment on there, Cody.
I don't have much to comment on. Here's what I'd say. I'm low because I hope they don't do what you said. That's why I'm low.
Yeah, it's scary. I agree with what you're
Dude,
saying.
he's so young.
Yeah, but
They
he's played
have to.
13 games both seasons. So I know you're like,
They
well, the
have
fluke
to.
injury last year, but he's missed 7 games in 2 years. If you
Thing is,
tell
they
me he's
have
going to
to.
get 160 carries and 90 targets, and that equates to RB7, I'm more excited actually for that to play out because I think we get a full season.
You
of it.
can't be afraid of your best player of the ball. I'm not
And
worried.
I like the player. I mean, I fought Mario on it last year, and honestly, he was a player I was wrong on.
They've done
so
it, dude. They
I
did
like
it
him.
with Alvin Kamara, CMC. They did it for years with those players.
Yeah, this guy's missed 7 games in 2 years. You got to be a little careful. A little careful.
I'm not worried.
I think Robbie is kind of ignoring that. I do think
I'm
he
not
is
worried.
ignoring that. But
I think you should actually
I overlook
want
into injuries.
160 carries. I think you should be asking for 160 instead of 200 and be really happy with him being RB6 or 7.
Cody, you're digging into my take here. It's going to be 200, 100. I'm not scared. You can be scared. I'll take him.
Yeah, let's talk
I'll
about
take him halfway through
Cody.
the first.
You know what it'll be, Rob?
fine.
I'll give you the 200 100. It'll be a 200 100 pace right up until week 12.
I'll
let's
see you at week 12.
let's
Bubba.
kind of talk about the guy that did the 200 100 2 seasons in a row. What happened the last 2 seasons? Wham, wham, wham.
Who cares? He's
So
coming
it
back
is-
with vengeance this year.
Oh,
Ooh, there it is.
oh. I think this one's interesting. I think this is you,
I
Cody.
like this one.
Okay. Yeah. As much as you like ETN, Dobbins is obviously,
I
sort
like
of his
this one.
counterpart in terms of what draft class and injuries their rookie year. And, one I'll go ahead and put the knock that somebody could give me in this is that, that he's coming off, obviously, an ACL injury, but ACLs just don't scare
That's
me
my
these
knock.
days. I might be crazy. ACLs just don't scare
Yeah,
me. And I
they
know
don't. I agree.
I know you had some data of it takes an extra year, Mario. I know we went through some of that stuff. But when we're talking about the Baltimore Ravens running back and the seasons we've seen the Baltimore running backs put up the last couple of years, and then I see ADP at RB21, I'm licking my chops. I love it. I
So
love
this
the
must
price.
be fate because I did not plan this or anything. We're besides Brian. We're the
Well,
three
of course, because
highest.
Brian owns him in Dynasty, so you can ignore
Yeah.
Brian.
Yeah. But we're the three highest for sure. So
I'm not even the
Mario-
highest. You're high. Rob, take over. You're higher than me.
No. Mario, you're 15. I'm 12, which that's definitely up and down. And
No.
it's up and down for me.
Okay.
And you're 13, Cody. So keep it
Yeah.
going.
Here's what I love about it is obviously we had the injury, but if you look at, we got the 2020 stats there and you look at how productive this guy's been, there's a good chance he's just a flat out stud, like highly efficient, lots of touchdowns in a perfect offense. You almost couldn't write a better script than J.K. Dobbins has on the Ravens. You almost can't.
Yeah, I mean, you already kind of took away what the only concern I have, and I still haven't kind of got the report on this yet. But I want to put together some data looking into how these guys come out after a year after ACL and a recent injury, like our recent data, because I don't want to go in 2010 and looking at this. I want to go, what are the years I started doing? I want to say it's 2017 to 2019 is where I got the data. So figuring out if these guys come back and it kind of gives them an issue. I can guarantee you this, like without even looking at the numbers. The first 6 weeks, he won't be himself. Now, will he come about? Maybe.
But it was
You
so
hope.
early.
Oh yeah. I don't know if that's true. Why do you say
It
that?
was so
Mario?
early. It wasn't a
They're-
mid-season tear.
They're talking about him and Gus maybe starting the year on PUP. So
No way.
It's like,
I missed that.
It's
if
what
that's
I've
the
seen.
case.
I have
That would
to
be
look that up.
surprising.
That'd
That would be
yeah,
highly surprising.
That'd be over a year, which these players are coming back in 6 months after.
It was
an ACL.
about
I'm
now,
sick of
wasn't it?
people saying 6 months on ACLs. It never
but it's been a
happens. It
year.
happened like one time in college. You're right.
Okay.
This will be a year. This will be a year.
Full.
I'm just going based off of what I've seen.
It's not even a year. It's going to be like 14 months.
Is it a year now? I
No,
was
week
wondering if
one.
It was about right now.
It was August.
Was it August?
Relax.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Also, you gotta got him.
Don't get me
Zing.
started.
You gotta look at like where it they get surgery. I mean, that's the 9 month timetable. It's not where it happened. It's where they get surgery. And I assume it was probably within 2 weeks at most.
Dude,
Sometimes
this
these
is
guys
an
wait.
NFL player.
Okay, who did it before? Ryan Tannehill, I think, opted out for stem cell growth. You know what happened the next season? I'm not saying J.K. Dobbins did this at all, but just to punk you, he tore his ACL. You know what he did after that? He
So
finally got
he's a
surgery.
psychopath, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, him and Aaron Rodgers.
Okay.
Re-injury, and I think this probably goes without saying, but like re-injury doesn't actually scare me. The only question is all of the pop there? And pop's probably the wrong word when we're talking about knee ligaments, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So
I'm not worried about the ACL.
I mean,
wanna-
it's a number one running back in the absolute perfect offense, and
What's
he has
his-
been
Mario,
highly
what's his
productive and
ADP?
he's young. It's just perfect. 20, I think.
21.
21.
So I think he's for sure locked RB2 with upside RB1. No,
I agree
like
with that.
I think he can have double-digit touchdowns in this offense.
Oh,
I clearly
absolutely.
think he's good. I have had a fly.
Yeah, it almost looks like a moth. I just saw it, and it doesn't
Dude,
look
it
black.
landed on my nose. If you guys want to pause later, you probably
Is
got
that why
me
you
like
smacked yourself in the face?
Yeah. That would probably be a nice little clip. See, I think he's an RB2 this year, and
High
you're,
end.
You're hoping for TDs here. The only way he gets into a RB1 is like if he double digit TDs, which I don't think is out of the norm. I'm
Dude,
not
you
saying
got him 15.
I said RB1.
RB2.
You don't see him coming. You don't see him like getting there though.
Yeah, I know. I know. Why is he yelling at me? I said he's an RB2. I think his ceiling's probably close to 12. I think I have him ranked pretty high. I think I have him ranked high to it, or like close to his ceiling.
You're trash.
Here's the biggest
Let
thing.
me keep looking into this ACL injury, and then we'll rediscuss for me.
Gus Edwards, and
That's
I
fair.
like Gus Edwards. If Gus
That's
Edwards is great in this offense, J.K. Dobbins is going to be a dog.
That's what I'm saying. Dude, he had a 6 yard per carry.
Yeah.
His rookie
in
year.
2020. Yep. All right, Mario, what do you got for us?
All right. So what I was going to say next is I kind of want to keep around the hour mark.
Mhm.
So maybe we hit it. We hit our points. You guys don't
Real
say
quick one.
anything. And
Fair.
then we'll just move on. Sounding solid.
Fair.
All right. My other guy that I have, I could probably thank Cody for this initially because he said, "Are we too low on Brandon Ayuk?" And he was absolutely right. The world is too low on Brandon Ayuk. So
Yeah.
the experts have him ranked at wide receiver 40. I put him to wide receiver 23. Yes, that's right. A low end wide receiver 2. Scary, but here's why. After their bye week in week 6, the first 5 weeks where Brandon Ayuk was living in Shanahan's doghouse, Brandon Ayuk was wide receiver 20 from week 7 to 18. I don't know where this is like gotten forgotten in people's like minds. Like his year wasn't great. He didn't finish like his overall wide receiver finish was wide receiver 35. Kind of maybe it was this overhyped rookie year. I don't know, but there's a lot of bad taste in people's mouth. He's going lower than his wide receiver finish last year. Tell me how that makes sense. Tell me why the experts are ranking him at wide receiver 40 and he finished at wide receiver 35. I'll let you speak on it.
Just from a Ayuk owner.
Yeah.
The previous 2 seasons. There's something, I don't know what it is. There's something with Shanahan and him. There is. It's clear as day. It's clear as day. He's in the doghouse until week 9 every season. It's weird.
He's coming down in his 3rd year now.
Okay, so it's
I feel
happened
like it was just
rookie
last
year.
year. But
No, it was his rookie year.
I
too,
think
dude.
it was just rookie year. You
No,
can
it
talk
happened
about
last year,
him
man.
not coming alive till week 9, but
Mm-mm.
like on week,
Go
and
ahead.
I'm saying in
Go
his
ahead.
rookie year, I don't think he was in his. There was nothing. There was no reports about Ayuk being in his doghouse. So I get what you're saying. It was probably a slower start, but he was a rookie.
Go ahead. Keep talking.
Okay.
Next.
There's also there's one more good tweet out there from Ron Stewart _ showing that Ayuk is the 15th highest PFF grade rookie ever. The 15th. In the games without Deebo Samuel, I don't know the weeks because it's kind of a weird sort of thing. And I only pulled from 2020. I did not look at the 2019 because I think Deebo only missed 1 or 2 games. So I didn't even pull those games. In 2020, 50 targets, 32 receptions, 345 yards, 3 TDs. That's in 6 games. Like, let's just I know I don't really like the extrapolate thing, but if we did this,
that's your go-to move. What do you mean you don't love to?
Yeah, well, I think it's just not a great move, but I do like to throw it. That's 150 targets. I don't think he gets 150 targets. That's let's talk about the yardage though. That's about 900. Oh, that's over 1,000 yards, and it's about 9 TDs. Again, I think the yards could get to 1,000 in this sort of setup, and I don't know what's happening in Deebo. So if I'm so low on Deebo, if I expect Deebo to sit out, and I don't know if I don't trust Deebo's health at all. Ayuk is the man, dude. Like wide receiver 23, there's no reason that he should be ranked lower than where he finished last year when he's just getting better and Deebo is just more of a concern. If you guys want to talk on it, you can, or we can keep on moving.
No, let's use these. Let's do these as the person who's proposing them just gets to make their point. That's an efficient route.
It's also because I like punked you guys, so it was like good point. You guys had
Hey,
nothing
I'm
to
with
say.
you.
Just
I
real
like
quick,
it.
though. Real quick. 2021 snap percentage, Brandon Ayuk, week 1, 47, week 2, 54, 86, week 3, 67, 71, 71 in week 7. That's not good.
I said after the bye week.
There's a couple of bad weeks, but 70% is not bad.
I said after the bye week, it was rolling time. I admitted that he was in the doghouse last year.
Till week
keep
7.
in mind, Rob, I know Mario's got him ranked high, but we're talking like a wide receiver 4 here. So if you tell me
he's got him wide receiver 2.
Wide receiver,
yeah, when he's ranking him, but I guess like in saying that there's value there in general, I guess where he actually goes, I guess.
Giving devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Don't
As an
admit
Ayuk
that.
owner.
Either own it or don't own it. All right.
I'm saying as an Ayuk owner, it seems like he doesn't get going till week like 9.
Do you own
which
him in
is
Dynasty?
what happened.
Can I offer you a trade?
I don't have him in Dynasty.
Well then, get out of my face.
Just saying.
I might. Do I have him?
No, you don't.
I think I might.
It's one of Robbie's 18 brothers in our
Is
league.
it? Okay.
Robbie.
Yeah.
This is your guy. I offered. You guys want to know a little tidbit? I offered Robbie 2 firsts for this guy.
You offered 2 firsts for everybody.
Yeah,
And
he was
none
trying
of
to
you guys
get an
took it.
RB2. Yeah, this
None
is
of
my
you.
guy. Blues Clues, baby. Let's keep it going.
Some of these notepads.
He hates that I handwrite stuff. He hates it.
Could you
man.
fax your notes over to me next week?
Yeah, I will.
Cody hates it too. Apparently,
So I have
he's
him.
the boomer of the group. Oh no!
Yes. We got the Notebook Boys over here and Mario. So it was another really fluky injury for Montgomery, just like Swift. It was a sprained knee, which it's not like a soft tissue. He has had injury concerns, so I get it. But again, it was just kind of a fluky thing. So he was on pace for 295 carries and 67 targets. That would be good for 3rd in rushes, 4th in targets for running backs in 2021. And then there's no Nagy there anymore, which I think is a huge advantage for him. And then pre-injury, right? So he had pre-injury was 4.48 yards per carry. Post-injury is 3.46. So that tells me he came back and he was not 100%. He wasn't himself. So those numbers don't show his efficiency. It just doesn't. And then he has 43% of his touchdowns in 4 weeks, which is pre-injury. So I think he's going to come back. He's going to be pre-injury Monty, go to like 4.4 yards per carry, and his touchdown percentage will go up. And I still think he's going to have 260, 270 rushes and have 60 to 70 targets. And I think those averages are going to come up. He'll be 1,000-yard receiver or 1,000-yard rusher, double-digit touchdowns with 70 targets. I think he's going to finish in the top 10.
Or we just staying silent?
Mostly,
guys.
I think the ADP is about right, so I would be a smidge lower than you, but I like him. I'm not against him.
ADP 15?
I think I'm at 14 maybe without looking. So
I'm 9. So
Yeah.
I think he's a
It's
solid.
a little rich for my blood, but
Yeah, no, I think he's
He's
a lot better than what the numbers show.
a guy that I'll take over Zeke, and he goes right there.
Yep.
I'll do it all day. I've done it
would too.
already a couple times,
100%.
and it may be like a 60-40 between him and Brees. Like sometimes I go DeMont 40%.
did that screen have what pick he was going, or just that he was RB 15?
He goes right. He
does.
goes RB 15. He's close to the Zeke level, which I think is RB 18. You also have
Is
Cam
it third
Akers there,
round?
who I think
Yeah.
like 3-5.
29 overall. So it's like early third, mid
3-5.
third.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm all in.
Yeah,
I'm
I
all
think
in.
that's a fine spot for him.
If he's my RB2, I'm happy.
The man who got paid.
There he is. Man, he's pretty.
Look at him.
He's
Look at that
cute.
Buckeye.
He is cute. You know what my favorite thing about him is, guys? There's actually something I just can't hardly take how excited I am. He's got a quarterback. Now, I'm not. This isn't the Carson Wentz hype train, but Carson
Jeez.
Wentz is going to be a world changer for Terry McLaurin, in my opinion.
I
I
agree.
think this is, I have Ryan Fitzpatrick love for what he is. I think the run last year was kind of fun with Taylor and all of those things, but he's never had a quarterback quite like Carson Wentz, in my opinion. But go ahead, Mario. What are you saying there?
Heineke is it's weird to say this. Heineke is not Wentz. You're right.
Yeah.
I don't think Wentz is amazing, but I just wanted to quickly say Heineke is what Garden Minshew is to you.
Is that how you
Heineke
say
is
it?
to me.
Heineke?
Heineke, I don't really
Isn't
know.
it Heineke?
I thought it was Heineke too.
Yeah, well, I can't pronounce any names. So. and I'm professing my love for him.
Honestly, the whole squad besides House, 13, 11, 10, 12, 12. So we're all.
Yeah. Hey, honestly, and like you said, you don't love Carson Wentz. I'll take even for like this is the first time he's had a starting caliber quarterback.
But yeah.
Literally the first time he's had a starting caliber quarterback. Like he has played with backups his entire career.
We talked about him a little bit last year. I think he's
and watched Alex Smith.
I think he's had 7 quarterbacks in 3 years, and they're all.
And here's what I
terrible.
love the most. Part of not having a starting caliber quarterback is you don't get elite wide receiver targets then. It doesn't seem to happen. And so this guy's got a career high 134 targets. He only had 130 targets last year in 17 games. With those 130 targets, 1,053 yards, 5 TDs. The year before, he caught 87 balls for 1,118 yards.
Yeah,
I think this is close to 150 target receiver.
I
this
agree,
year
man.
With Carson Wentz. And that opens up 1,300 yard and 8-9 touchdown upside to me. And he is my wide receiver 12, my final wide receiver 1. And I feel okay with him as my wide receiver 1. I don't usually feel like I'm okay with the 12th player at a position being like that I'm okay with them. So example, my RB12, I'd rather have him as an RB2. I'm okay with Terry McLaurin as my wide receiver 1 this year.
That's fair. I agree. I'm all in on him this year. I think I have him 10. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm not even the highest guy on him. I think
I got him 10. I just think this is the first year with some actual decent quarterback play. Like he doesn't need, he's so good.
Who are you not all in on?
There's players.
All right.
Brandon Ayuk.
I was just gonna say Ayuk.
No, the only reason I said that is because I think there's 3 players, which is fine.
It was weird that
one of your guys and Cody.
It seems like all these players besides Ayuk, like we're all higher than the consensus. Maybe it's because we talk about him a lot, but
I think our opinions get morphed.
Yeah, I just think with Terry, he's so good, he doesn't need elite quarterback play. He just needs good quarterback play. And if he has good quarterback play with a quarterback that can kind of see what he's doing, because if you I said it before, watch his tape, how many times he was wide open, just pissed off because they didn't throw him the ball, wide open in the end zone. I really think he's gonna have a good year.
I like Michael Pittman. So don't take this the wrong way, but I'll say this. If Carson Wentz was good enough for Michael Pittman, he's good enough for Terry McLaurin.
Yeah, but that's 1,006. So T-Mac is better
as a rookie though. Pittman. T-Mac's way better. I don't want to say way better.
But was Pittman only 1,006 last year?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually thought he was a little higher than that.
I really think that T-Mac.
All right, I'm out on T-Mac.
T-Mac's better than Pittman.
He clearly is.
Yeah.
He's faster. I think the only thing that Pittman would probably be more advantageous is in the red zone, and that we didn't even see.
Sure, but his fruition. I'm telling you, man, watch the tape.
I think that's
the amount of times he's wide open.
I like that you brought up the red zone and the touchdowns, because I think that's the part that might excite me maybe the most, because rookie Terry McLaurin had 7 TDs, but the last 2 years with the quarterback play he's had, it's been 4 and 5. And I don't think it's a T-Mac problem. You don't catch 7 TDs as a rookie and then lose it.
Is that the year he played with Alex Smith?
Problem. It is, yeah.
Partially, yeah.
Partially.
Yeah. I'm just saying you need competent quarterback play.
That's why I think he's an 8 to 10 TD guy, because I don't think the 4 and 5 TDs have been him, and that's all that's held him back.
I really agree with you. Me and Cody think alike, man. We got no pads.
Both good looking. I mean, it
is what it is, Mario. I'm sorry.
All right, boys. Let's wrap this up. Tonight was a fun show. Really like the segments. Go buy the players. We're putting them out there for you. Take the bait.
You can get some steals according to our ADPs.
Yeah, unless you reach, which I do a lot.
Reach for the players you love.
We'll be back next week.
Or around.
Is next week, July 4th. We might be on earlier. Don't know the exact time. I think we're around 1 p.m. on July 4th. We have a really fun episode. I don't want to name what it is yet. Yeah, I think we're going to do a day show.
I guess I didn't get the invite, guys.
Maybe
hot dog. What are you guys doing?
Should we dress up? Should we all come on, dress up, and have hot dogs together?
Robbie,
You
you
can watch it.
have
That'd be
the
fun.
Discord.
What are
He
you doing?
literally has no clue. He has no clue.
I don't.
Okay. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah, nothing.
Let me get
Robbie
my.
sucks at raiding Discord.
What's
guys.
Discord?
Yeah, let me get my readers. All right, guys. We'll see you next Monday. I think 1 p.m. We'll keep you updated on Twitter, which you can find us at DadBodFS, and on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, DadBod Fantasy Squad. We'll also be posting this recording to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Cascade, or something like that. Google Podcasts. Did I say that already?
No.
And any other mainstreaming platforms. We'll be posting the audio. For Robbie Bobby, for Mudcat Cody.
Hold on. Hold on. Before we close, if you're still with us, go vote.
Go vote.
Go vote. Go vote for our name on Twitter.
I love it when you call me Big Pop.